One thing that just keep on consistently crossing my head is how much my sister indirectly embarrassed me. Imagine going after years, of going through ups and downs of situations and relations, and you tell your siblings and sisters and brothers what not to believe in and what not to do. And then, they go do it, which, you got free will. That's not the part I'm judging you about. It's how you respond and come back to me. If I tell you this type of person right here is a goofy, and I guess over time, either due to physical and emotional lust lacking and, just experiencing those from an actual person, in my opinion, it's pretty much the main reasons I felt like they end up being more lenient into these situations, which is more natural. But I think when the line crosses and you just don't be like, this ain't gonna last long. This is just a placeholder. No matter how I feel, I just need to call it like it is and just accept the situation and move on. Not everybody's meant to have a good, happy, healthy relationship. There are always going to be assholes. There are always going to be lames. There's always people that's not going to be willing to change. There's always people who's going to justify manipulating because they're losers. They can't straightforward get what they want or don't have the balls to. So, my sister, pretty much, I think at this time she was 22, I have to say 22, and has like a 19-year-old boyfriend. First mistake, especially for someone of that age, in my opinion. You're dating someone who just came out of high school like a year ago. And then later on, I hear you're talking about baby and marriages while you live with your mom house. And he does. And the only difference between y'all two in terms of financially is that he has a car and probably has more due to drug dealing, which I'm not shitting on him for. If you're desperate enough, I believe you may do anything, God forbid, especially for me. But I think what made it more embarrassing was the consistent lies and how much I felt like I had to ask and how much I felt like she would basically fold or give up her own boundaries or would accept certain behaviors because she liked someone. Like at a time talking at him rudely, talking about do this and that, and I think this is probably like third, fourth time where I'm like, well, you chose this goofy ass nigga and I already told you around the beginning this is a wrong, bad option. And you sitting here fighting me about all different type of alternatives and shit like that on how shit could be. I'm like, bro, you're a loser. That's just really what it is. Imagine your sister being, let's just push it. Let's say you're 30. She's 27 and she bring home a 20 or 19-year-old. You're already going to be looking at them, even though the gap I said isn't as far. But honestly, when I was 22, I wasn't really interested into a 19-year-old. I just felt like even then maturity just sort of had like a shift to it. But my whole point was you take the time out of your day consistently over a long period to tell you specifically what to look out for, what to not go date and go fuck with in terms of it being long term, and then getting this fake bullshit relationship that leads to you getting cracked in your mom room by a 19-year-old, like a nigga who just left high school because you brought this goofy ass nigga who only been in one relationship his whole life that was serious. And then it also led to him, according to the story, to him partially, getting caught by the judicial system, which is already red flag number one. Red flag number two, he wants to be a rapper with no motion. Like, I don't think there's too much else to say from that point, but I'm going to just keep on going just so you could get how bad this is. She tells me, oh, he's not like that. Oh, he's not in the street. Yeah, this 19-year-old with slang who first introduction over here comes over here with a ski mask, I think a Nike jacket, flip-flops, and socks. Like, I'm seeing three red flags right there. And this motherfucker's 19, thinks she's mature, but you're pretty much grown. You should be a lot more mature than what you actually are. Bring back this goofy. Introduce you to him like there's just nothing wrong, or you don't see nothing 100% right. Like, yo, be for real. I ask, what the fuck the motherfucker think the relationship is real for? Oh, well, he was a good friend when we started off as friends first. And the fuck that even means? Okay, so your standards is low. You don't know that, but you're saying it to me, like into my face. What was the second one? Oh, he was calling out friends that I couldn't even peep out beforehand. You know, the things that I didn't see wrong. Okay, well, shit, I did too. But, you just have a lack of self awareness in general and pretty much just choose the wrong people to be friends and typically have a wrong perspective on relationships. And despite me even sometimes giving you game or, want to have these conversations, or when I bring it up, it feels like they're even being dodged, not thought about hard enough. Like things that I feel like I should be asking just so you don't make the mistakes that I did. And it's not as if I'm just this grand majesty of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? It's just I know certain patterns that I've consistently came across, and when you say something that sounds like it's been down a wrong pattern that I'm proven time and time to myself again, is me as an older brother should, what's the word, just sit back and let you look stupid. Well, if I'm gonna tell you I love you and actually would care for you, that's just how I personally feel. Shit, I guess it could sound a little bit daddish, but shit, I don't know who wouldn't be embarrassed. But this is the same motherfucker who is now, as I'm making this story, to my knowledge, is broken up twice after I believe he personally cheated, as he's consistently going to parties, whether he's trying to sell his little weed or not, but don't want you to go to any of them, which you're, for some reason, listening to. I don't know how the fuck that goes. And then you're going back and forth on arguments on stuff that he's made up. He's checking your background, asking who's a dude, acting openly more insecure and controlling, probably because you're going and complying. Yep, as a goofy would. All this embarrassment, things that you overlooked in arguments that we had, just for you to end up where you are. As of now, when they broke up, the only accomplishments I ever seen from this dude is simply having a car and probably having more money based off of selling marijuana. I haven't seen or heard nothing overall too much productive from this person, and I'm sure he just comes over every once in a while to probably try to smash my sister, or, I haven't even heard of a date from them, but then this motherfucker's bringing them to family reunions out here looking stupid as this nigga once again pull up in a jacket, flip-flops, and a ski mask and dreads. I'm like, boy, even him laughing at it together is like, yo, she got me with the family twin. I was just like, yep, just, you ain't even gonna talk none. They not even finna approach you, be up all in your face or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Nothing serious. You ain't gotta talk to nobody. And that's pretty much seemingly what he did around the Super Bowl. But I think either other dumber shit, after I argue with it about it, they told me other things like, oh, he had a car 2-3 times, maybe 4 times at the age of 19, and how much you save. It's almost as if they try to turn it back and critique me, but at the same time, they also didn't go against my points. Like, I know I can't literally afford a child in a long-term future romantically with somebody. That's just the truth. I cannot afford to consistently go on dates or even spend most of my daytime or time that I do have after work, for what I'm saying, to even go out as much as I would want to. And I don't even want to use that an excuse as to, why I feel like I could potentially give them a pass. It's just I don't see how it gotten so serious, or even to the talks of it being so serious without doing nothing serious. That's what the disconnect is. I honestly lost a little bit of respect for my sister after that, especially after you tell me he's not in nothing, then just to later casually, as we're smoking, tell me that he was involved with a murder case. I'm like, shit, you don't want to hide. I told him he looks like a goofy. He's putting this shit in his underwear. He don't know what he doing. He don't know how to shoot. Not only that, I proved it and recorded it and posted him on my YouTube channel, and you just fought me back with excuses. I don't see having a car multiple times, and at the time that we're having this conversation, you don't have a car. I don't see how the fuck is that productive. I think we all done made it to a band. I casually make it there every once in a while. I don't even care when I simply make it there, because that's just the fucking norm at a certain point. Niggas paying bills and rent. That's the bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard to get an old school fucked up car, even in 2026 in Georgia. But once again, although I am thinking and trying to, rubbing my chin, and I'll later on figure out all the silence that I was given in response had them believing that I was actually agreeing with what they were saying. No, I don't agree with any of what they're saying. There is one thing I did think about, though, like the weed and the spending money and stuff like that. I don't disagree. And, they hear my own personal side of the problems and stuff like that. I'm not against that. I actually do appreciate the reflective moment, because it honestly somewhat helped me push myself a little bit further as to where I am now, because living with my mother was extremely depressing. And shit, I'm not the type to ask for respect. I'd rather get physical with you if I have to. It is what it is. I just learned from her, if somebody wants to make themselves gullible, goofy, or purposely make the wrong decisions, let them, and you just move accordingly. And shit, I know I typically go according to that when it's for people, or try to give them more grace when it ain't family. But when they're choosing wrong, let them suffer the consequences, distance yourself, and go your bet. Because you'll go crazy trying to wonder why they're justifying doing dumb things to themselves. You're going to have to emotionally, in terms of being, caring for the outcome for them in these situations, just step back a plate or two and shit. It hurts when it's your sister, but at the end of the day, I just can't look all the over little things. I feel like if the only thing that you would think is fake as hell from me as of now, through the whole situation, or years, at least as of adulthood, that you gotten from me was goddamn me talking shit about your boyfriend in the weak-ass relationship, I think you heard me call it that on the stairs. Then it's just like shit. And then the 3-4 things, and then not the lying and me taking up for, I don't even mind you taking up for somebody. You do that, but letting this man even lie and say that he's not a street, and then tell me he's later on involved in a murder charge, and just casually say that, it was just more than disappointing. It's like she can't think of a similar situation, but, and I'm 24, was 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, like, it's 5-6 years of adulthood, and it's just like, you can't think of something bad that I did wrong or broke some form of disloyalty. But shit, I could think of you with just a boyfriend alone. Like, why it took, or, even going against what I'm saying with your friends, why does it take that for you to have want a boyfriend enough for you to damn near lie to me, or even make me question how much I could trust what you say, or just even over little lies like, oh, I just don't want to go, but you're telling everyone in their face and stuff like that you want to go to the military or whatever the fuck. It's just, you just making a line there. Why over little stuff? Do not lie to me, period. I don't even want to keep on thinking about it, because I love my sister, but she is an embarrassment in terms of what she's done so far. And at least in terms of her decisions, I can't really speak too much on the financial aspect, because, just at that age, you're not going to make it as quick, especially without a lack of resources, I understand. But in terms of the romantic side and having a little bit of respect for you, and that's most of that thrown out the window. Like, shit, I love you. Goddamn, I'll fight for you. But everything else, like, yeah, you on your own.